Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for February 5th through the 11th of 2023. So our quote for the week says, "Make a daily practice of anchoring in your embodied present where the tides of the future can actually be felt." Deep breath. This week has a Leo full moon lighting up all kinds of goodness, but we want to make a daily practice anchoring in our embodied present, being in your body and being present in your mind and in your environment and all of that. When you're there, you can pick up on what's coming. You can receive the messages from your ancestors or angels or animal spirit guides, letting you know what's coming. But if we're always busy, go, 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 and we never pause to reflect or we never pause to integrate, we never take the time to get embodied and be in our six senses, which is our superpower, but it needs to be cultivated. So I love this picture. I hope you all enjoy this full moon and butterfly. It just all represented everything I'm feeling for this week. And that is one of those royalty-free pictures off of Pixabay by somebody named Molly Rose Lee. But it has all the signature of this week's transformative energy. And even though I usually use my own sunset pictures or my own full moon pictures because I have a really cool camera that can zoom to the moon, this one just got my attention. So I hope you enjoy that. Also kicking off this week on Sunday, February 5th, is the Revelations class with Yeye Louise Tish. She calls this Your Secret Life Revealed Through Daydreams, Nightmares, and Visions of the Future. This is going to be so powerful. We'd love for you to join us. We are extending this invitation to all. Registration is going to stay open for the month of February, and there will be replays available. So if you come in a little late, you can still catch up. I'm so excited. We're going to learn about dream deities. We're going to discover our secret life, and we're going to explore the difference between those dreams, nightmares, and visions, and find out how we can co-create more consciously. So join us if you can, and check out those links in the blog for more details. See if it resonates with you. We would love to have you with us. So, also Sunday is our Leo full moon, which often illuminates the discrepancies between who you are, who you think you are, and who you are perceived to be. Deep breath. We're going in on the Leo self this month. This is the place where we go to clear anything blocking those super new moon, exact super new moon in Aquarius that we are moving through and navigating as we speak. This is the complement to that. So we planted seeds 2 weeks ago, and we're coming up on this full moon, which is shining a light on which aspects of self have run their course and that have to be cleared out in order for you to make your unique contribution. Let's meditate on that this week. This full moon is an annual check-in with your self-love, self-value, and self-expression, tapping into any imbalances or issues due for a personal clearing. This reveals how you've been operating from the outside in when inside out would be more effective. It may also expose where your ego has gone unchecked and/or where your inner child has been neglected and is now cranky. Play is part of being human and something many have forgotten how to do on the most basic levels because of the system we were born into. But we must practice integrating joy and play into our daily lives. It is much more fun and interesting to use the full moon energies to play with a variety of creative ideas and/or possible roles of who you are evolving into or would like to over the next 6 to 12 months, as well as your place of service within any chosen community. Okay, Leo Aquarius is you, the individual, within the context of your community. In what capacity can you shine and share your light going forward? Each year, you get to release negative patterns as well as your old self or old desires of the heart so that a new evolved version of you can be birthed to bless the world. It's time to do what you love and love what you do. It's time to release anything that doesn't truly express your authentic self so that the real you can shine brighter. This is a clearing that should lighten your heart and connect you to a renewed vision for the future. Ashe, call it in. That's Sunday, Monday the 6th, Mercury sextiles Neptune for the third and final time. The first hit was December 24th, Christmas Eve. January 2nd and February 6th this week is the third and final hit between Mercury and Neptune. This is our thinking and our imagination. This is our self-expression and our connection to God or spirituality or the source of our understanding. This is a powerful reset that we've just been through. We're all through Mercury in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces. So what is that? That is our roles and responsibilities. It is our purpose and reality, going with the imagination and dreams and vision. So we're upgrading our reality as we speak. If we can imagine it, if we can call in the vision, if we can connect to that which is yours by divine right. So this reset has been very powerful, y'all. And now we can go forward with a little more clarity and structure and organization so that that vision can actually manifest, right? Deep breath. This is a great energy for imagination, consciousness, and intuition. However, keeping a good filter to distinguish between your own perceptions and what you are picking up from those around you will be crucial to your success. Your mind may be tuned into a different channel than usual this week, and you may have to rely on other senses, like your feelings or intuitive hunches. You may be very perceptive, picking up on thoughts and feelings of others, which, if and when you are clear and your filters are working properly, can yield some surprising revelations about where their consciousness is at this time, for better or worse. But it also reflects an aspect of your own consciousness that you may not have been aware of, so let's pay attention. Try to avoid work that requires any attention to detail. Allow your creativity to free flow without censoring what comes through you at this time. You can organize it later. This is the energy to explore, create, and discover. Deep breath. Now, on Tuesday the 7th, Vesta moves into Aries until April 15th. That's approximately 2 months. Vesta represents you, the individual, in its purest, most sacred form. It's the part of you that can focus deeply or dedicate completely to a person or project, sometimes to the exclusion of other aspects of life. It's where we can be a little extreme at times. But up in the sky, she is activating all of us to initiate a new cycle of making our identity and purpose not just important, but sacred. This is great energy if you need to focus on a project or goal that is really important to you, the individual. Working alone is best under this influence, but if you have a partner, just remember to negotiate up front about what your needs and desires might be. We can use this time to reset our individual identity and purpose in a very special way that only comes around every 4 years or so. This is when you get permission to focus on yourself, and it is not considered selfish, but self-preservation. This is a huge personal reset. Take full advantage of it. Deep breath. Okay, so my Vesta's in Aries. I know this is a personal reset conjunct my Saturn, so that makes my sacred reality renewing in these beautiful ways. So if Vesta's touching any of your Aries planets, it's going to allow you to make them sacred. The issues that they bring up, sacred. So Saturn's reality and purpose. I get to cultivate that sacred purpose. Again, not just important, but sacred. So look at your Aries zone and see what she might touch along the way over the next 2 months, waking up, activating, energizing, initiating like Aries energy does, and no matter who's in there, right? That also brings my first Astro 101 class of the new year. I run this class 3 times a year. I've done it for the last 2 years. It's been going really well. We usually have about 6 to 10 people, so we've got room for about 3 more. If you want to drop in, I don't recommend you miss more than 2 of the first classes because then catching up is challenging. But we'll leave registration open for another week or so, and you can join us over there if you want to learn about astrology and cycles and patterns through your own blueprint. So a lot of what we talk about in that class, you can immediately apply for yourself. And every once in a while, someone drops in who wants to do readings for others. So it does supplement that education as well. And we'd love to have you. So that class starts on Tuesday the 7th. They run for 8 weeks on Tuesday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, which would be 4 to 6 Pacific. So join us if you can. Then Wednesday the 8th is Venus sextile Uranus. This energy, thanks to Uranus, activates a certain spark of electricity in the air. New relationships will have an unusual aspect to them, and old ones can break to realign in a positive, even fun way with this energy. No monotonous routine, humdrum people, or boring collaborations with this energy. Use it to access your own unique genius and deep well of creativity, and then share, if you can, with other like-hearted souls. Take advantage of this energy to tap into areas you may not have realized were available to you before now. Keep it light and upbeat. Socialize and enjoy the experience of different people or new activities. Keep in mind, however, any relationships begun this week may not be based on qualities needed for long-term survival. It's more of a time to enjoy the people and experiences that pass through and accept it as a gift. Deep breath. That's Wednesday the 8th. So Thursday the 9th, we have the free monthly call. This is when the community gets together to check in on one particular activation or alignment. In this case, we're going to touch base on these supermoons. In 2023, we open the year with 3 super new moons. Capricorn new moon, super new moon. Aquarius was an exact super new moon, which is very rare, and it's when the sun, moon, and earth are in this perfect alignment and the magnetic pulls are that much stronger. And we're coming up on a Pisces super new moon to start off 23. Later in the year, we're going to have 2 super full moons in Aquarius and Pisces. So see how that works? Your Aquarius Pisces departments are getting a serious internal cleanse, let's say. This is the moon. This is our emotions and our feelings and our creativity and our inner default settings, and a place where we both initiate and complete. This is our rhythms of life, our daily rhythms. So that's going to be the zone that gets a little upgrade this year. So we're going to talk about that on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. I'd like to hear from you all and see what kind of feedback I get around changing that time. Historically, I've done it at 8 o'clock in the evening on the East Coast because that helps some of my Philippines and overseas people who have to get up super early in the morning. That allows them to sleep in a little bit. But now I got East Coast people who go to bed early, and that 8 o'clock is pushing it because we don't get done till 9:30, sometimes 10. And on a Thursday night, when you got to get up and go to work Friday, that can be challenging. So let me hear from you if you think 7 o'clock on the East Coast, which would be 4 o'clock on the West Coast, could possibly work better going forward. But right now, all the promos say 8 p.m. Eastern, so that's what we're going to do on the 9th of this week when the Power Circle gets together to touch base on supermoons. Now, Friday the 10th, Mercury conjunct Pluto. This is a big deal, and the final hit, 3 of 3. This is another part of Mercury retrograde, winding down and finishing up. And it's so powerful to go through all the other things that we're going through to leads to this final activation. And then the next day it slips into Aquarius. So this is huge, y'all. This is the rebirth of our consciousness after an upgrade and a data dump and a mental body health break, right? Let's check in and see if we've got, or let's say if we can feel that clarity kind of coming back. So this happened December 30th, January 28th, and the final hit is February 10th. So you may have had some big revelations around those times, give or take 3 days on either side. And you may have made some deeper connections to your own thinking and ideas and creativity and different things, the way you express and whatnot. All of that's getting an upgrade thanks to Pluto in its last degrees of Capricorn. So that's the other thing. This is micro to macro. We get to benefit from this upgrade that is also going to shift to Aquarius in the next year or two, where, again, the transformational soul work shifts from our Capricorn department to our Aquarius department. So we're all preparing for that too. Deep breath. So this activation takes you into the depths of your own mind and consciousness, deepening all communications. You may find yourself obsessing over something, either by yourself or in an attempt to convey something to another. Superficial, quick once-overs or trying to keep things light will not likely be possible with this energy. You may feel determined to dig deeper until you get to the core or base issue. It's good for soul searching when that's motivated by a genuine desire to know the truth rather than to evade it. It's not so good when you're obsessing over someone or something which no longer serves you or your highest good. The challenge with this energy is the tendency to be really intense and locked in on your own point of view, which is no less valid, but often this type of mental intensity blinds you to something obvious that you overlooked because you were not being objective, but being driven by much deeper, possibly unconscious emotions. Your intensity is capable of influencing others, but be aware of the difference between sharing information and trying to convince, convert, or cajole others, as that can naturally attract challenges and opposition. Remember, the opposite can also be true, where you're on the receiving end of this intense energy from someone else trying to convince you of something. The best way to use this energy, as it doesn't really last that long, is to turn that intensity towards self. Peel the layers to your own truth and purpose. The channels are open for a time, and you can communicate and receive information from the deepest part of your soul self. This is an initiation. And I would add, this is the best activation for communing with and learning from your ancestors. This is a powerful support for both the Dreams class and the Ori class that I'm doing with Yeye Louis Satish. I mean, wow. This is so juicy, y'all. I'm excited. We are going to be birthing some magical big dreams. Then finally, Saturday the 11th, Mercury slides into Aquarius and starts a whole new day. It will be there until March 2nd. Mercury moving into Aquarius is going to wake up your consciousness in that area of life. That would be your Aquarius house in your chart. We are getting a chance to dig into any dogmatic thinking, rigid, crusty old consciousness, or any mental rut that holds you back and keeps you small. You can be liberated in that you can truly reinvent yourself in any way that you can imagine. So this 3-week period will awaken your unique genius and inner creative critical thinker. You're going to be best supported when your heart approves the ideas, thoughts, or concepts coming from your mind. Ultimately, this is an opportunity to release any attachments to the old story of the old you. 2023 is radically new territory, and we've all been stripped pretty raw over the last year or two. So whatever parts of you, your ideas, thoughts, and concepts that are still solid, those are the unique aspects of you that need to shine through in your words, thoughts, and deeds going forward. So use this time to initiate your new ideas and clarify where you've held on to an old persona over long. Assess how rigid your own thinking can be and under what circumstances it hurts more than it helps. Deep breath. This is also a good time to ask your guides for the most creative solutions, radical ideas, and unique brilliance to be awakened and channeled through you in a healthy, productive way that expands your individual world and makes you more valuable to the team. Ashe, deep breath. So this is deep, y'all. We start out the week with the moon in Leo, so our internal emotional reconnecting with the heart, clearing any blockages to the heart at the front of the week, and we end up with our mind in Aquarius, initiating brand new ideas that will support that vision and those seeds that you planted on the Aquarius new moon. The other thing to think about is we're doing a clearing in our Leo department so that 6 months from now, when we have the Leo new moon, you can really blossom and shine and step into that full authentic self at a whole new level. So let's really use this clearing wisely. Let's use this reset to our mental body and our creativity and ideas and the structures that in the little containers and things that we're trying to put together at this time. You know, it's all leading somewhere. So doing things step by step is going to make you stronger and allow you to show up more prepared and ready to respond to the good things the universe wants to bring you come Leo time this year. Okay? I've talked about this in many different ways on many different calls lately, how if we can take care of our responsibilities on this front end, we can get creative and fiery and passionate and have some fun and go to all new levels of self-expression and self-value and connection to our hearts and our passions and the things that we really care about. And there's lots of other perks in Leo that we're going to talk about over the next 6 months. And this is the perfect energy for me to share with you my sister girl, Nasa Bawa, who is doing a new master course that's going to start in March. But I think she's having a free intro this Saturday on February 11th. I know it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, which would be 4 p.m. Pacific. And by the time this blog goes up, I'll have a link for you. And if you can't find it, just email me or NASA directly to ask about the Saturday introduction to her new Soul Contracts Master Course. Clear ancestral heartbreak and make room for reciprocal relationships. I love it. Twin flames, past life lovers, and soul contracts. How to work with your ancestors to clear energetic love blocks. So this can be self-love, this can be love of others, this could be just general love of humanity and trying to come back into the world after COVID, and wanting to not feel uncomfortable around people anymore. Also, we all have our patterns around love and relationships, partnerships, or collaborations. So this is part of that upgrade I was just speaking about with Leo Aquarius. That's so amazing and happens every year, twice a year during Aquarius time in the early part, Leo time later. We get 2 shots at this to recalibrate our head and heart connection so that we can make better choices in the people we decide to work with, play with, or get intimate with. And NASA is a very dynamic teacher who, like myself, I feel like I found my twin sister over here, gives you tons of information. So you will be completely satiated and unbelievably prepared to shift your patterns where love is concerned if you drop in that class. Now, of course, it's happening Sundays at the same time my dream class is. So I won't be there, but I encourage you all who have love and relationships kind of on your mind, on your heart for an upgrade this year to go to NASA for that. This week is very transformative, y'all. We're on the heels of the Gate of Power. This is the midpoint between winter and spring. So what do you want awakening by April-ish? Probably closer to May, really. But it's all divine order, deep breath. So reach out when you need to. Drop into these community events when you can. Join us in our classes. Learn something new and gain a new skill set. And make that deeper connection to yourself and your ancestors and your guides, which is what most of my work all leads back to, is integrating above and below, that embodied presence, along with the higher consciousness that we're cultivating and lightening up in our bodies so that we can handle and navigate a higher frequency. And let's do it together. Let's rise together, y'all, okay? Like I said, reach out if you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off. I hope you have a fantastic week.